My name is Amarachi, but you can call me Oma. I'm from Nigeria. This is my story on how I went from being a street hawker to a wealthy man's daughter and the lost heir. Titled, She Grew Up Poor. Then found out she was a millionaire's daughter. I went to school in torn sandals and borrowed uniform. The color never matched. Neither did my life. When I got home, Mama Nena was waiting with a cane. You forgot to sell the onions before closing, she snapped. I took the beating quietly. The next day, I carried my tray of oranges to the market. I had my usual spot under the yellow umbrella beside the Kiki Park. A man in a fine suit stopped to buy oranges. What's your name, small madam? He asked. Amarachi, I said. He stared at me long. Too long. That night, Mama Nena saw the money I brought home. Who gave you this kind money? She asked, her eyes sharp. I told her about the man. Her face changed. She made me sleep inside, not in the corridor like usual. I heard her whispering on the phone to someone. I'd never heard her voice tremble like that. The next day, she told me not to go out. Said the market was dangerous. But I sneaked out. Something in me needed answers. At the same spot, the man was back, this time with a woman. She looked like money and secrets. She looked at me and whispered, she has her nose. Later that evening, I saw a black Jeep parked near our compound. Mama Nena argued with the driver. I only heard one thing, you told me she died. That night, I went through Mama Nena's old trunk. Beneath faded wrappers, I found a photo. A baby. Wrapped in a gold cloth, my name was written on the back. But the surname wasn't Nena's. The next morning, I confronted her. Who am I? She looked at me for a long time. Then said, you are my daughter. That's all that matters. But I could tell she was lying. I ran to Ebuka, the only person who ever listened. I showed him the photo. He looked shocked. Oma, this cloth is from Royal Hospital. We went there. The security man almost chased us away. But an old nurse recognized my face. You were the baby that disappeared. She gave us the name, Mrs. Ajayi, the retired midwife. Said she lived near Ajij now. When we found her, she didn't want to talk. Until she saw my bracelet. Her eyes widened. I never believed it, she whispered. You're the Idu baby. She told us about that night. A baby girl was born. Healthy. Then gone by morning, she was paid to stay silent. I was that baby. I confronted Mama Nena again. This time, she cried. They gave you to me when I had nothing. I loved you like my own. I didn't hate her. But I couldn't stay. I left that night, with just the photo, the bracelet, and my name. Chief Kenneth Idu was a man with guards and gates. I wasn't sure he'd even look at me. But fate made it easy. There was a fundraiser at his company. I snuck in as a cleaner. I only needed 5 seconds to lock eyes with him. He stared at me like a ghost. I felt something. Recognition. But he walked away. I left a letter in his office. With the photo. And the bracelet. The next day, his lawyer came looking for me. They took my blood. Swore it was for charity records. But I knew, when the result came, they didn't call me. They sent a car. I walked into the mansion. Every chair looked like it cost my school fees for 10 years. Chioma opened the door. Who is this girl? She asked. I didn't answer. I was still trying to breathe. Chief came down slowly. Stopped in front of me. I had a daughter. She died 17 years ago. No, sir, I replied. She just grew up poor. They didn't believe me. So I showed them the bracelet. Then the photo. Then the birthmark on my back. The same one his wife had. That night, I was offered a guest room. Nothing permanent. Just silence and suspicion. Chioma confronted me the next morning. "You're not family. You're a mistake." A DNA test confirmed it. I was his daughter. His only legitimate heir. Madam Veronica nearly fainted when she heard. But we buried her. I started etiquette classes. Learned how to walk, eat, talk like one of them. But my heart still spoke like the streets. I missed Ebuka. So I invited him over. They treated him like trash. I almost walked out with him. One night, I overheard Chioma on the phone. "We need to ruin her before the will is changed." I started finding needles in my juice. Broken glass under my pillow. Someone tried to push me down the stairs. I held the railing. Barely. Ebuka brought proof, an old check signed by Madam Veronica to Mama Nena. Bribery. Years of silence. Detective Salome reopened the case. The press got wind of it. Lost child found. Elite family under investigation. In court, everything unraveled. Madam Veronica planned it. Chioma knew. They were sentenced, but I still felt empty. Chief Ido apologized. "Not with words, but tears. You remind me of her. Your mother." I took over the family's foundation. Started giving scholarships to market girls. I returned to Mama Nena's house. She hugged me. "You may be theirs, but you'll always be mine." Ebuka got a job abroad. We cried. We laughed. He kissed my forehead. "You were always royalty. We just didn't see the crown." I stood before a crowd, giving a speech at my school. "I was the girl you passed every day. Now, I run the company that funds the school." Chioma left the country. No apology. Just silence. I was okay with that. 1 year later, I opened a home for lost children. I named it House of Amarachi. People asked how I stayed humble. I tell them, the street doesn't leave you, even when you leave it. Sometimes, I still wake up thinking I need to hug fruit. Then I open my eyes and see the chandelier, but I never forget where I came from, because I was the girl they left behind, and I became the girl the world could never ignore.